I don't care, bro. Bacha ho.
She's my classmate.
Please send me my ID and ask her to get married.
हमारे स्कूल में वाइब्रेटर पकड़ा गया डीपीएस में 10th बैच में वाइब्रेटर और 2 बच्चे गे सेक्स करते
कौन से
केस मतलब ऐसा ऐसे बैग के पीछे एसएसटी फैन ने पकड़ा थे बैग के 2 पीछे से रख दिया था तो उस डीपीएस में ऐसी हरकत हो रही है
और फिर वो
इन्वेस्टिगेट हुआ सस्पेंड हो रहे थे थोड़ी
अरे हमारे क्लास में है ना आप रोज
करती क्या है
नहीं रहा एग्जैक्टली उसको क्या जरूरत है उनको मुझे नहीं
My boyfriend. Really?
भाई मैं क्या करता मैं चला जाता हूँ तो 5:30 तो ऐसे ही हो गया 15 मिनट लेक्चर में बैठ के
हाँ जाओ
है तू
अरे मुझे बाहर जाना है
जाने
जीसी जाना है
ये मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं उसमें से कहीं मेरा स्वाग फ्रेंड नहीं है
ये
फ्रेंड है
मतलब एक्चुअली मैंने ऐसे वीडियो पर लग नहीं रहा है इधर वो लग रहा है कि वो है और फिर इधर वो नहीं लग रही है जिधर वो लग रहा है कि वो उसी जगह पर है और इधर समझ में आ रहा है कि वीडियो पर
हाँ ये वीडियो कॉल अच्छा ऐसा वो है स्टिकर है ये मुझे नहीं
बोर हो रहा है यार नाजिज्म का घातक हुआ ये तो फोन देखती है तू कुछ और करती है तो बोर होता है उनका अलग ही टोन है
मैं ट्रेजर से ये वो फ्रोजन लेता है तो उसको
ये इंस्टाग्राम थ्रेड्स में क्या होता है
अरे वो तूने थ्रेड्स का अकाउंट बना लिया ना एक बार तो वो डिलीट कर दे तो इंस्टाग्राम डिलीट होता है
हां
इसलिए कोई नहीं
अजीब बताया
बहुत सही था
मैंने तो सब लोग ने कहा चलो मैं भी करता हूँ फिर देखो 100 मिलियन प्लस भी हो गया
क्या
स्टार्टिंग 100 प्लस हो जाता भाई पर लॉग आउट करके हम भी कर सकते हैं ना फ्रेंड्स
फंस गया अब तू
Ma'am, like at 5:45 I leave the class at or like I'm going outside.
5:45 what?
5:45 leave the class because I'm going out. So I've informed in the office.
Now it is
Around 5:30.
5:23. Okay. Let's complete today. Do you remember where we were that day? It was long time we did not meet.
Ma'am, we haven't completed the chapter Nazism.
Last class we did not have a history.
Oh, हाँ तो वो था.
Okay, let's see.
Page number.
अभी के पीछे आ जाओ हिस्ट्री
See, we have learned, according to me, we learned about world view, utopia also we have seen. Okay. Now let's see youth in Nazi.
Page number.
Yeah, we need to start with youth and Nazi.
75.
75. We have 3 more pages to cover.
Nazi state its control over you.
We need to start with youth and Nazi.
Youth in Nazi. Let's recollect something so that we remember from Poland the from the parents' hand, the kids were snatched away to look like. Then they have experimented on that children, and if they were find good, that means okay. The children were handed over to German parents. Others were sent to
concentration.
So this is what we have seen. That is, as small infants, the Hitler used to take them to brainwash the children to fill in their minds with that Nazi ideology. So that age, that is why in our Pakistan also, many are turning out to be terrorists. They are brainwashing them.
Can we turn off the AC for 10 minutes?
No. Only 15 minutes. After 45 minutes.
See, the fan you will put and then.
Mom, can you make him sit again
No.
and turn on the fan?
Okay, ma'am, you switch off the AC and you turn on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Where is that?
Ma'am,
Majority, ma'am.
Right, majority. Ma'am, आपको भी गरम हो रहा है like you.
No. I don't want at all.
Thanks, mom. Because we don't either. It is extremely excruciatingly cold. What? No, she is supposed to come ahead to turn on.
Why?
To turn.
Ma'am, now please switch on the fan.
No,
Please. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you
पीछे वाला. ये तो चुप बैठ ना.
very cold.
No. The problem is that all the walls are concealed, so suffocation will come.
To suffocate हो जाएगा. नहीं होते.
We don't have any ventilation.
Ma'am, but can you tell me
It's very cold. Come here.
No, ma'am, I'm okay here.
No, then we are okay.
No.
Ma'am, but two people is fine.
Ma'am,
we are two people.
ladies first. Like,
Ma'am, you come here.
Ma'am, I was sitting there only, it's too cold.
उधर जाना मैम की बोतल के
But it is very cold inside. That's why you sit here.
Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am. So, don't
Come
understand.
Come here.
Ma'am, he is the owner.
Ma'am, no, ma'am, they should go ahead.
Going 9-10 minutes.
That's okay.
Ma'am,
Let me
so
go.
10
After
minutes.
that, you tell me.
Yeah.
Hitler was fanatically interested in the youth of the country. He felt that a strong Nazi society could be established only by teaching children Nazi ideology. So I have told that the kid is taken and tested and then given to that German parents. From then onwards, the Nazi ideology was filled into the child. So that is why this required a control over the child both inside and outside the school. All schools were cleansed and purified. It is not the cleaning process. Cleansed and purified means the unwanted elements were removed. Jews were removed. The other country people were removed. That is how cleansing work is done. Okay. Then this meant that teachers who were Jews or seen as politically unreliable were dismissed. Children were first segregated. German and Jews could not sit together or play together. So after that, in the school, children are segregated. German children were not allowed to sit along with the Jews. It's like our earlier time, untouchability, caste system time. Subsequently, undesirable children, Jews, the physically handicapped, gypsies, were thrown out of school. After segregating, these undesirable were thrown out of school. And finally, In 1940s, they were taken to the gas chambers. Till that time, they were not taken to the gas chambers. They were just orphans. They were. Afterwards, they were also taken to gas chambers. Then, good German children were subjected to a process of Nazi schooling. Means after segregation, German children were given Nazi education. What were they? A prolonged period of ideological training. School textbooks were rewritten. Means only Nazi ideology to be taught to the children. So that is why school textbooks were rewritten. Racial science was a new subject was introduced. This racial science to justify Nazi ideas of race. Stereotypes about Jews were popularized even though through mass classes. How mass classes stereotypical teaching was taken place? Story also that sizes and shapes are there. Understood? Shapes are there in mathematics, no? These shapes were compared to, because Jews were compared to what is that, your rodents, then like that. Their movements were like that. So all these were used in even in subjects, languages, everything. Message came for what?
He needs to go home. He is just eagerly waiting.
Children were taught to be loyal. What was the thing? That points you have to underline. Loyal and submissive. So children were taught to be loyal and submissive. Hate Jews and worship Hitler. Got it? Even the function of sports was to nurture a spirit of violence and aggression among the children. We know that always when sports is there, teachers used to tell that sportsman spirit you take. What is the sportsman spirit?
The spirit of not holding any grudges and being happy if the opponent wins.
Yes.
That's
but here what is taught?
If you lose, you hate the other person.
Be aggressive. That is the teaching given to the children. Then, spirit of violence. Hitler believed. Yes.
ये जेंडर और रिलीजन ये हो गया ना पढ़ा के
जेंडर रिलीजन हो गया
बच्चे को नहीं हुआ है तो
आयु वार्षिका हो गई कौन बच्चे बोला
अभी मेरे को ये मैसेज आया अभी कल का टेस्ट आना कल टेस्ट है
नहीं वो नहीं आया मेरा
अभी सर का एक टॉपिक है आपका एक टॉपिक
जेंडर हो गया उधर का ना कौन-सा टॉपिक चालू है आउटकम्स चालू है
ये तो हो गया ना
what was that? Violence and aggression among children. Hitler believed that boxing could make children iron-hearted, strong and masculine. What are the topics?
Iron-hearted, strong and masculine.
So what will teach them? What will help? Boxing. So he introduced boxing as a compulsory subject to study. That means boxing as a game of sports now. That is a subject. So compulsorily everyone should be boxers. So that way.
Aditi, learn boxing.
Now, Nazi state its control over youth. So, childhood we have seen. After segregation, the topics they have to study, all those things we learned. Now, after that, after growing little bit, what was that? Youth
sent off to fight.
No, before that, youth wing is formed. Youth organizations were made responsible for educating German youth in the spirit of National Socialism. Okay, 10-year-old had to enter Jungbock. These names you have to underline and learn. Okay, 10-year-old had to enter Jungbock. That was the organization for 10 years. At 14, the boys had to join the Nazi youth organization. So, first group is Jungbock, spelling Jungbock. So, at what age? 10 years. Okay. Then 14 years, what group?
Nazi youth organization, Hitler youth. When they will learn to worship God.
Nazi youth.
Hitler youth.
Then another one is that where they learn to worship or glorify aggression. What all things are happening? The worship
glorify aggression,
violence,
condemn democracy, hate Jews and
communists, gypsies, and all those categories as undesirable.
communists.
Communist, we have learned about that socialism in Russia.
Yeah.
That people who follow socialism, they were called communists. Okay, so all these people to be hated. That was the principle of Nazi youth. Is it clear? Are you underlining that points?
I'm very cold, I can't get my hand out.
Okay, after Hitler youth, after a period of rigorous ideological and physical training, they joined the labor service. So next is labor service. At what age they joined the labor service? Now, then they had to serve in the armed forces and enter one of the Nazi organization. So, infants were taught, then 10-year-old Jungbock, then 14-year-old Hitler youth, then 18-year labor service. The Youth League of Nazis was founded in 1922. Which year Youth League was founded?
1922. 4 years later it was leading.
As Hitler Youth. Okay. To unify the youth movement under Nazi control, all other youth organizations were systematically dissolved and finally banned. Means many other parties were also having youth organizations. These were eliminated slowly and finally completely banned. Okay. Now it's very interesting. What is that? He showed that he had great respect to mothers or women. Women were given great respect by Hitler. What he did, children in Nazi Germany were repeatedly told that women were radically different from men. It was taught to the children that women are different from men. The fight for equal rights for men and women that had become part of democratic struggles everywhere was strong and it would destroy society. Means equal right for men and women that would destroy
Society.
While boys were taught to be aggressive, masculine and steel-hearted. What all things were that? Masculine, steel-hearted and aggressive. Then girls were told that they had to become good mothers and rear pure-blooded Aryan children. So what was
Why
told?
with this right now? It is annoying me.
No.
So frustrating.
No, you leave that part. I'm telling here, in order to encourage more that pure Aryan children, he introduced a new thing. So, medals are. At the same time, so many facilities are offered to women so that they will not have any contact with the other people. What is that? Girls had to maintain the purity of the race, distance themselves from Jews, look after the home, and teach the children Nazi values. They had to be bearers of Aryan culture and race. In 1933, Hitler said, "In my state, the mother is the most important citizen, but in Nazi Germany, all mothers were not treated equally." He announced that mothers are very important person, citizen. Women who bore racially undesirable children were punished, and those who produced racially desirable children were awarded. Undesirable children were punished, and the desirable children awarded. Women who were, they were given favored treatment in hospitals and were also entitled to concessions in shops and on theatre tickets and railway fares. Everywhere, concessions and special treatment. Those who bore pure Aryan. Then, what is that? To encourage women to produce many children, honor crosses were given. Okay, a bronze cross was given for 4 children. If a mother have 4 children, what will be gifted? Bronze. Then silver for 6 and gold for 8 or more. To encourage women to produce, all Aryan women who deviated from the prescribed code of conduct were publicly condemned. If anybody deviate from that, were publicly. So, one banner was placed hung on that woman and publicly insulted. That is, shaved that hair, blackened that face, and a banner was put on the neck and made to move all over the streets. Then on that banner it was written, "I have sullied the nation." So this way insulted those women who have connection with the other people. Okay, that much is clear. Now the art of propaganda.
Okay.
Yes, 2 minutes more. Where are you going?
I'm going outside.
When you will be back? Today itself, or
Yeah,
you are taking leave?
Mom, can you turn off the fan now?
Let me go.
Thank you.
The art of propaganda, you just read. So then this little bit difficult words and terms are there.
Can you see now?
Okay. What is the meaning of Nazi propaganda here? What is the meaning of Nazi propaganda?
How Nazis very smartly made sure that whatever they did went under the rug and they could not be questioned.
Yes, that is what they
They
coined.
normalized it. They normalized what they did.
What all are the words they used?
Final solution, special treatment,
Euthanasia.
And disinfection and
Selection and disinfection. Okay, these terms you have to remember. Evacuation meant deportation. That means deporting people to gas chambers. Then disinfection areas. That a particular place, gas chambers are called disinfection areas and look like bathrooms equipped with fake shower heads. Then media was carefully used to win support for the regime and popularize the worldview. Nazi ideas were spread through visual images, films, radio, posters, catchy slogans, and leaflets. So we know that here, I'm going to kill you. This way, anybody will tell? If I am going to kill you, means my voice also should be there, my action also will be, my expression also will be like that. But here, very nicely, some words are coined. And people thought that, okay, something good is going to happen. So that way, publicity also was given. Media, films, and leaflets and all were catchy. So when you are seeing that one ad, you are drawn towards it. If that ad is not giving that kind of catchy words, then we will not have any interest in it. So, Hitler used it very meaningfully. How he can be the powerful dictator. That is what happened. Then, socialists and liberals were represented as weak and degenerate. They were attacked as malicious foreign agents. What is malicious?
someone with bad intentions, malintentions.
Yes. That is, they were branded as foreign agents and their interests are malicious. Then, propaganda films were made to create hatred for Jews. The most infamous film was The Eternal Jew. Underline that word. What was the most infamous?
Eternal Jew.
Orthodox Jews were then stereotypical markings. What is that? Stereotypes and marked. They were shown with flowing beards, wearing kaftans, whereas in reality it was difficult to distinguish German Jews by their outward appearance because they were a highly assimilated community.
Obviously, they were part of the population.
Yes, we cannot discriminate, but they were branded like that. So people got a fear, people got hatred in their minds against this particular community. They were referred to as, these words are also used. Vermin, rats, and pus. Just imagine.
There are people, come on, we cannot talk about people like this. This is so bad.
Now, when we hear about vermin, so some images coming in our mind. So people are called or branded as vermin, rats, pest. Okay. Their movements were compared to those of rodents.
Oh my God. Wow.
That is why I told you mathematics, that movement. That is when an arrow is to be marked, that is the movement of rodents. That way.
They are so despicable. I hate them.
What
No, like
are the minds
people
of
who also supported him. He had a lot of supporters.
See, actually, he got the support because of that condition as well as fear factor. Because the condition was such that the people thought that some savior should come to save us from all this. So Hitler maximized that chance. Understood? And at the same time, support point of view because of fear.
Hitler angers me with whatever he does. Like really, no, he's really angers me. Like to the point I wish he was alive and I could smack him. Just smack him.
That's why he didn't even give anyone the credit to kill him.
Yeah, that pisses me off more.
That's more irritating.
Yeah, like
How did it affect one person who killed him, the name, the place, anything like that? No.
he killed himself.
Idiot.
Nazism worked on the minds of the people, tapped their emotions, and turned their hatred and anger at those marked as undesirable. That way, brainwashed. I told you, a kid is taken,
Yeah.
and that time onwards, the child is brainwashed in such a way, filled in the minds of that child with this hatred, anger, and all. So, how can we expect a good?
Hitler, I still don't understand. If Hitler's prime motive was to take over every land, like was to take over the world, what pleasure did he get out of torturing people? Like, aren't you the one who wants to rule these people? So, what is the
He
torture?
wanted only Aryan. Like purified.
That is such a dumb mentality. What do you mean, Aryan?
Blonde and blue eyes.
Just kill yourself.
I don't think he was a
Yeah.
Aryan, huh?
I don't even think he himself was a pure Aryan. Apparently.
He was not from Aryan race, no?
Yeah.
He was born in Austria, no? He was not a German also.
He angers me.
He capitalized the situation, that much only.
He had fun while he could.
Opportunist.
Okay. Now, ordinary people. See, you thought about that person, filled the minds of the people with the fear or like that. There are some people who were not able to do anything, but in the minds they are having a feeling towards that suffering. So that is what here. Ordinary people and crimes against humanity. That much part you just read aloud. Now Aditi ko next part.
Many saw the world through Nazi eyes and spoke their mind in Nazi language. They felt hatred and anger surge inside them when they saw someone who looked like a Jew. They marked the houses of Jews and reported suspicious neighbors. They genuinely believed Nazism would bring prosperity and improvement in general well-being.
This is what
Few people.
their minds were made to think like that.
But not, they genuinely believed that Nazism would bring prosperity and improve general well-being, but not every German was a Nazi. Many organized active resistance to Nazism, braving police repressions and death. The large majority of Germans, however, were passive onlookers and apathetic witnesses.
They were passive onlookers only. Some faced oppression and challenged this, questioned it.
Yeah, and some just stood.
Some just watching what is happening because they could not do anything.
They were too scared to act, to defer to protest. They preferred to look away. Pastor Neo Moller, a resistance fighter, observed an absence of protest and uncanny silence amongst ordinary Germans in the face of brutal organized crimes and crimes committed against people in the Nazi Empire.
He wrote
movingly about this silence. First, they came for the communists. Well, I was not a communist, So I said nothing. Then they came for the Social Democrats. Well, I was not a Social Democrat, so I did nothing. Then they came for the trade unionists, but I was not a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews. But I was not a Jew, so I did. So I did. Then when they came for
I
me,
did little.
so I did little. Then when they came for me, there was no one left who could stand up for it.
See, what was that passive attitude? What you that it did little, no?
Yeah.
See, if I am a person like that, somebody is coming to attack you, I'm thinking that okay, they are attacking you only. It's not me.
Yeah.
So next time I saw that somebody is attacking you, then also I am not me, no. So this way, passive attitude. But when it come on me, that time nobody came to help. So this is what the real condition of Germany. That is what they came for communists. They came for that.
Social Democrats.
So
they came for trade unionists, and then they came for the Jews. What Jews felt in Nazi Germany was a different story altogether. Charlotte Bayard secretly recorded people's dreams in her diary and later published them in a highly disconcerting book called The Third Reach of Dreams.
You underline it and learn it.
What was this about? I don't understand.
See, Charlotte Bayard, she experienced it. She was a girl that living under this Nazi rule. She also was living in that kind of place.
Like Anne Frank.
So she wrote about her experiences. And that book was compiled in the name Third
Reach of
Reich of Dreams.
She described how Jews themselves began believing in the Nazi stereotypes about them. They dreamt of their hooked noses, black eyes, black hair and eyes, Jewish looks and body movements.
See, after hearing all this thing, Jews themselves began to feel that are we looking like that? Are we having black hair? Are we having that hooked nose? So they started thinking themselves as that image.
The stereotypical images publicized in the Nazi press haunted the Jews. They troubled them even in their dreams. Jews died many deaths even before they reached the gas chamber.
So mentally, they were.
This is so upsetting for some reasons.
That is what here. How much bitter experiences they had to undergo. Then also, few of them survived to tell the world about this. Otherwise, never this kind of things would have come out. Understood? So he did all these things to make them die inside. So world will not come to know about.
This just very frustrated me. Like I do not have the physical energy to think about what all happened right now.
Okay, now this part, knowledge about the Holocaust. See, the name of that Charlotte Bayard.
The Third Reach of Dreams. I'm good at remembering stuff.
Information about Nazi practices had trickled out of Germany during the last years of the regime. But it was only after the war ended and Germany was defeated that the world came to realize the horrors of what had happened. While the Germans were preoccupied with their own pride as a defeated nation emerging out of the rubble, the Jews wanted the world to remember the atrocities and suffering they had endured during the Nazi killing operations, also called the Holocaust.
What is Holocaust?
Holocaust.
This is
people pronounce it differently. Okay, it's fine.
But how?
No, it's okay. Even my teacher pronounces it completely differently. It's not an English word, right? That's why.
That German word. No,
it's a German word. It's okay.
Hmm. What is that? What is Holocaust?
What is this?
Atrocities and sufferings they had Jews endured during the Nazi killing operation. That is what a Holocaust. Hmm. Definition you underline.
Pencil and
At its height, a ghetto inhabitant had said to another that he wanted to outlive the war just for half an hour. Presumably, he meant
Ghetto
that
is what?
it was a stereotypical group of like similar to
It
that.
is a place where these Jews were separated, isolated.
I'm pretty sure ghetto was a community of. It is,
Ghetto is that place where, see, some places are occupied, means lived by certain communities, no?
yeah,
So that special area is called a ghetto.
yeah, because this in America refers to black neighborhoods,
Ah.
like people of a particular community, and
Yes.
blacks, they inhabit a place called ghetto. It is deemed as a very disrespectful term towards people of color.
Ah.
presumably he meant that he wanted to be able to tell the world about what had happened in Nazi Germany.
So he wanted to survive just half an hour to tell the world about the atrocities. He don't want to die in that place. So he wanted to tell the world what all things happened.
Presumably, this indomitable spirit to bear witness and to preserve the documents can be seen in many ghetto and camp inhabitants who wrote diaries, kept notebooks, and created archives. On the other hand, when the war seemed lost, the Nazi leadership distributed petrol to its functionaries to destroy all incriminating evidence available in offices.
So when Nazis were on the verge of defeat, he gave that petrol to burn that thing. So nothing should survive. That was the aim. But then also for the world, some kind of
Proofs of
loophole, these things we got.
Yet the history and memory of the Holocaust live on in memoirs, fiction, documentaries, poetry, memorials, and museums in many parts of the world today.
And Frank's this thing diary.
Yeah.
No.
I read a part of it in my Hindi textbook last year. It was translated in Hindi.
But Anne Frank's
It's
was
a
a book.
book.
Huh? It was a real experience, no?
Yeah, but when you read it, then I just like sit and think about it. Don't read it.
That is what the aim.
Yes, but then
She
it's very sad.
wanted to tell the world about this.
The tradition.
Now, very recently, also this Anne Frank's work came out like that only. When Russia and Ukraine were on war, that now also they are. Many of the people were made to stay underground. Now many of the European countries they have prepared like that only. So that type of life and what would happen, they began to write. So Anne Frank's writing, her experience were compared to that present day.
The Ukraine's condition, I believe, was much worse than anything we've witnessed because people over there could not even speak out at that time because during war they have nowhere to go. They were just stuck.
It's basically like the president's mistake, but then he was the one who was just safely hidden somewhere.
Yeah,
And the people.
he was the only one who had no fear that he was gonna die
Yes.
because he was so safe.
And then all the other citizens who didn't even do anything had to die.
That's Russia's fault.
See, this Ukraine president, he was not having any background of that administration.
He was not
Any-
politically well.
So he was a film star or like that. From that he came. So
He was
people
not
started.
very well versed in administration.
So he was adorned by the people. So he thought that the public is behind him, and he created an image to get support also. And really speaking, that Russia was responsible. Russia was not having any need to go and attack.
Yeah, Russia cannot just attack a country just because it felt threatened.
But they were joining some with the
NATO,
Netherlands.
the North Atlantic Treaty
Yes.
Organization, but that would not directly impact Russia.
It was against Russia.
Yeah, it is not
See,
retaliatory.
Aditi, you just listen here. Russia, we have learned about USSR. That second lesson, no? We have studied, no? In that, during that time, the country was formed as USSR. Okay, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. In that, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia were there. They were broken away from. So only that 11 states or 11 countries left in that. And they cannot be called as USSR. So this country, Russia, wanted to pull this Ukraine into it.
Yeah.
It was also part of.
Ukraine
It
was
was
one of the
part.
11
It
countries who
was
left USSR.
so that is what no. So it wanted to pull it
Because it's a very nice. It's
geographically is there, and at the same time it have connectivity with other countries, and a very popular and economically developed region. So it Russia wanted to bring it in its
And
stronghold.
meanwhile you explained it.
So then what happened? Ukraine wanted to be powerful economic country with NATO support.
Yes.
North Atlantic Treaty. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. But here Russia
But it
was
didn't actually help it, when the war, even when the war was going on, like USA said that they would help, but they didn't help.
nobody could help. See, the Russia was having a group called the Warsaw Pact. Warsaw Pact. And this one wanted to be on the opposite side. Russia was having socialist system, the other one was having capitalist system. So diametrically opposite only. Understood? So if America and other European countries help Ukraine, then what would happen? It would.
But actually, Ukraine was joining that NATO for protection only, right, against Russia. But when there was actual war against Russia, no one knew.
They offered help,
But that
but
was
in
basically
the
trade
real,
they were taking money for the weapons that they sold. It
correct.
was basically business only they wanted.
See,
They basically just fooled Ukraine into.
you see that India, which side India would join?
In Russia.
That if it join Russia, large number of our people were there in Ukraine.
Yeah, but
So many medical students and so many. Now it was very difficult to bring them back.
So they told Russia to not fire.
Yes.
And Russia said that they won't fire anyone with an Indian flag in their hand.
That way, one Pakistani also came along with them. The other country people also came along with it because they were hurting. So what is that? These all are political. This thing only. They are showing that okay, this side, this side, this side. But our policy is that maintaining our integrity. So without joining any of the bloc. That is why we could survive in all the type of problems. Gulf War was there. Iran-Iraq War was there.
Yeah, for oil.
So that time our Indians were there in large numbers in those countries. India could save everyone because of this policy. When Palestine and Israel had a war, that time also India did not show
Take a particular side. But I'm just saying that over here, it was the Ukraine's president's mistake. Like when he knew that Russia was very powerful, it could basically destroy the country. He should have taken some measures because the citizens, like most of them, died and the houses are also destroyed.
And the city, beautiful city, was completely damaged.
Yes, it was very beautiful before that. After it's just all ruins again.
Now also it is going on. Now recently, it's
Still putting bombs over there.
Once that one person told that India is having soft corner to
Russia. But then Russia was the one who helped us, like against China and all.
See, because of this policy only, we are getting.
Yeah, but even Russia helped us, no, 10 years ago.
Yes, now this part also Mahatma.
And Mahatma Gandhi had sent letters to
Adolf Hitler and his letter.
Did he get any reply to the letters? Like, did Adolf Hitler send him any letters back?
This one was have been urging me to write you. Means when he was in he wanted to meet Gandhiji.
Adolf wanted to meet Gandhiji.
Even he wanted to meet Nehru.
For?
Means for getting the support.
Okay.
India was under the colonial rule.
Yes.
So against Britain, we were fighting. So he offered his.
But then he would take control over everything.
That is why nobody went. Even that Jawaharlal Nehru also did not go.
Yeah.
Not even replied, but he voluntarily wrote a letter to Hitler. Because of the feeling that any letter from me would be an impertinence. Something tells me that I must not calculate and that I must make my appeal for whatever it may be worth. So useless things I should not do. That is why I resisted myself. It's quite clear that you are today the one person in the world who can prevent a war which may reduce humanity to the savage state. Must you pay that price for an object, however worthy it may appear to you to be? Will you listen to the appeal of one who has deliberately shunned the method of war, not without considerable success? So Gandhiji used ahimsa. So that one without success, but still pursuing that policy.
But now basically, India got freedom because of violence again at the end. Because if it wouldn't have been like aggressive, then
aggressive.
It has to be a little
Quit India movement was started. That also Gandhiji only.
He did a lot of things, but then a little aggression needs to be there.
That only made the British to leave.
Yeah,
that is Quit India movement.
Yeah.
That time only he realized that something is. But it is also resulted in the partition.
Yes, because a little aggression does need to be there when you're fighting. All the like other ones like Subhash Chandra Bose and
then second letter, December 24th.
Please, I anticipate your forgiveness.
See, I wrote something without your consent. So I am anticipating.
Asking for forgiveness.
Because if any wrong thing I have told you, forgive. That is what I. Then, December 24th, 1940, we have found in non-violence a force which, if organized, can without doubt match itself against a combination of all the most violent forces in the world. See, what Gandhiji told is that, so it is an act to the conscience of the people. See, if I am beating you and you are returning a beating, I will give you double. So this will continue. But you bet me, and I am just leaving, forgiving. So that time you will think that I have beaten. Every time your conscience will ask, it is there no, she did not return it. So this way, when the British were doing, we are showing that a non-violent path. So it will be a method to ask the conscience of the oppressor. That is why Gandhiji used this method. But those who are following him, that means a large number of masses who were supporting him, may not have that same idea. You just now told that little violence is required.
Yes.
So every person may not have the similar idea of Gandhiji, but still we could do. At the same time, one more thing we have to understand. We have to learn many things from them. We were ruled by rulers, dynastic rule, and we have to shift from that rulers to democratic method. So from there we will be able to. While working under the British, we learned all these things. Then only we prepared a constitution which included all these principles. So that also slowed down that movement. Instead of becoming violent, that was an opportunity for Indians to learn about. Got the idea?
Yeah, I'm processing today.
So it is written in non-violent technique, as I have said, there is no such thing as defeat. So we are not using, see, if any method of violence, offensive is using, then only from your defensive method, I face the defeat. If I am not using any offensive method, then there is no meaning of defeat, being defeated. Got or not?
Yeah.
If we are doing something, then only the feeling will come. So, in the method of non-violence, there is no such method. So, why we have to worry about a defeat? It is all do or die without killing or hurting. It can be used practically without money and obviously without the aid of science and destruction, which you have brought to such perfection. Spend lots of money for all these things, weapons, then conquest, all these concentration camps, gas chambers, and all. You have spent a lot of money for that. You have used your science for that. You have used destruction for all these things. Then it is a marvel to me that you do not see that it is nobody's monopoly. If not the British, some other power will certainly improve upon your method and beat you with your own weapon. Sometimes Britain can do, so or some other country can use that method, and defeat. So if we are using tit for tat, you will also have to face. So that is why come out of this mentality and use a peaceful method.
Yeah.
You are leaving no legacy to your people of which they would feel proud. Anybody is proud of this person?
Everyone hates him. Like we genuinely despise him with all our heart and soul.
Yes. That is why your own people also will not be proud of you.
Yeah, everybody would just believe you're a cruel, despicable individual.
Okay. Now, G20 summit was there. These
Yeah.
all country people that visited Gandhi Samadhi and
Yeah.
prayed for them.
But nobody's going to visit Hitler ever.
So this is
Hitler's gravesite is like his dead body was like never shot because his. He just confused people with his death. Homie, he's too old to live on.
Not now, bro. Like after his death.
Yeah, sorry.